real, people like to manufacture their own narratives. And that's with the white supremacy shit. When you said that shit about the flat earther shit, that shit hit me because even though I wouldn't go as far as to say that, because some of these people I rock with, if I really am honest with myself, it's kind of the same thing that I kind of go about it in the same way. It's like, okay, you can believe that. I'm not even engaging with that because that doesn't interfere with what I need to believe. You believing in flat earth doesn't interfere with the world being round. So why so that doesn't even interfere with me even needing to fuck with you like that. Because you know what I'm saying? So it's like, why even engage in an argument or engage in this need to try to change your mind? Because that's creating unnecessary friction. But so I can't deny that wasn't accurate, but I was like, damn, these yes, man.
Well, sometimes you get tired of it, man. Because man, I would spend too many years, study too much, and work too hard to actually break this down. And there's two sides of the same coin, right? There's some people that believe this white supremacy is going to be this forever thing, which it's not. It's a system that comes in just like any other system, and basically, it's on the downside. It's been white supremacy has been dying since the first Gulf War. It's been on it's on its downward slope, right? And with the Chinese push, it's actually accelerating. But the thing is, it's not dead yet.
Well, the biggest thing I don't understand is if you understand tribalism, racism is like it's like the next step of
And
that.
that's natural extension. Yeah.
It's like, because it's more of an algorithm, and groups have it. It ain't just white people. It's just white people have like the strongest one. But it's like, how can you not understand that groups will compete economically? It's like saying, okay, I believe in sports, but I just can't believe the motherfuckers cheat. I just can't believe in the concept that somebody would throw a game for money. I can't believe that can actually exist, but you believe in sports and understand there's a lot of money in sports. Like, it's like, and a lot of people always hide behind this idea that black folks are trying to be victims. Some people now want to call it the victim Olympics. That's, you got Anton saying that. And it's like, yo, being aware, it's the same thing with the women. You being aware of what women do and what female nature does, that is not essentially anti-woman. That it's like saying, okay, it's like somebody saying I'm anti-business because I don't fully trust capitalism and the intention behind capitalism. So by definition, I have to be anti-business because I understand that people will cheat in capitalism, and understanding capitalism is not a perfect system. But if you don't say that, if you say it's not a perfect system, people will come at you saying you must be a communist or socialist. I'm talking, people say that with me too, which I find is funny. Is, and I'm a salesperson, so it's this emotional need to believe in certain narratives at the face of, I mean, evidence and like history, and it's like, and I feel sorry for those folks because a lot of them, I wonder what would happen if they get a nigga wake up call. If they get like a real harsh, I'm not saying, I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but I'm curious as to if these motherfuckers got like a real hardcore nigga wake up call, how would they react to that?
Some of them
If we
would
got
break. Some of them would be in denial.
if we got a real hardcore nigga wake up call, that means half of us are probably gonna die.
No, I mean like individually. I'm not talking about like
Oh, okay.
a what if episode of Marvel. I'm talking about individually, a nigga wake up. Like, for instance, I bet you Muhammad Noor was probably one of these ones that will probably tell you it's racism didn't exist. And shout out to him because he's probably gonna get out really soon because they overturned his case. But when he probably saw the speed at which they locked his ass up, and then he saw that it don't matter how many Somalis are in there in a specific concentrated group, that when them liberal Minnesotans want to get your ass, that's it.
Yeah.
That probably woke up a lot of Somalis, to be honest with you. They still are gonna be on their tribalistic shit, but they realize it don't matter how much political power you think you have.
Because they believe most if anybody that travels knows that if you come from someplace else, you kind of exist in that bubble outside the system just a little bit, as long as you don't push it too far. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but you gotta
Somali,
be like the watcher.
yeah, and Somalis thought that they existed outside the system, that was actually going to extend through past certain barriers, and they found out real quick that it doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well,
a del- and that's
but
that's a
he
delusion.
was a cop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he
Well,
Yep.
once he crossed over into Copland, he
Hmm.
was in white people land,
Yeah.
and white people going to exact their particular vengeance.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing is, this is and the reason I even bring that up is because one of the things, and I'm kind of crossing this with a lot of different stuff. You know,
Hmm.
when you have the ADOS, because I've lost like 10 subscribers. It's funny, but motherfuckers really be getting mad over this ADOS not ADOS stuff. But when you bring that up, it's like they will say that it's not they will. Okay, this is what I've always found interesting. It's like if you
Hmm.
start pressing them on their countries, and I'm saying
Hmm.
even if you're being an asshole about it, they always give you the typical shit. Basically, white colonialism is an excuse. Even with what like the people that take control, the
Yeah.
leaders that
And
end up
thank
getting
you.
corrupt.
Thank you for the cash ass, Supra.
Yeah, it's white colonialism. That's basically what it always it defaults to. So it's like, okay, you can understand that,
Yeah,
but the same
you got some feedback, Supra.
Somebody got an echo.
Super.
muted super.
Oh, I don't think so.
But it's the same.
Yeah, it's you, Super.
But the same
Yeah.
white folks tell you to not
Uh-huh.
listen to us, and then y'all actually believe the same white folks that are kind of indirectly the reason y'all are leaving your countries in the first place. And then you think you can tell us that as if we're so fucking stupid
Hmm.
when we help y'all a lot more than people want to admit that we don't have no idea what's going on there, or we can't easily find people that are aware of what's going on there to put that together because they say the same shit. It's like the
Hmm.
same script. Well, it's the white folks colonialism's fault, but the white folks told us to not listen to you blacks. Okay, so the very white people fucking you up are the very white people that you're listening to and taking marching orders from, and then you get mad when we say, okay, you need to stay your ass over there, or we reserve the right to kind of activate that card if we need to. Oh,
Hmm.
y'all are being racist. Y'all hate black people. Now I understand what the black rednecks do with a lot of the shit that they do, but the truth is they do that with light skinned women. Like people will talk about, oh well, black people are racist in America because they beat me up, or I can understand why people would say that, but it's like no, that's nigga shit, because they do the same thing to light skinned women. They do the same thing to other groups. They do the same thing to square dudes. That's prejudice, but that's not really racism.
Hmm.
And the difference between racism and prejudice, because black people don't have the ability to really box you out, and to the extent that we've never economically done that. So that would be racism. But anyway, it's just motherfuckers really be believing they bullshit and they don't challenge their own bullshit. I find that it really annoys me. It really does.
Mm.
And then they'll sell it to you like you supposed to
Yeah.
buy that shit at premium prices.
Yeah. And we get Super in. Go ahead, Super.
Oh, thanks, BJS. How you guys doing? Good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, I asked a question earlier, but it seems like you guys kind of answered it during 3 minutes ago when you talked about how the system was falling and China kind of like fast forwarded it because
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
well, because now that you guys are talking about how a lot of immigrants, like I am, I'm also immigrated here about 20 years ago, starting to get their wake up call. Do you think it's because a lot of them have tribal systems? I don't say that are similar to what is practiced here, but it seems to be when that's introduced, it makes it hyper or even twice as worse. That's why you have like South Africa, like you guys said, and South America. It's like
I'm curious. Give me an example of like a tribal thing that people do that gets them in trouble.
Well, I can't really speak on a specific one. I was just giving you like a broad, because each country and each city, the tribal nature and how they, or the culture, let's put it that way.
It's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing.
Because when you hear like Trevor Noah talking in South Africa,
do you have YouTube playing in the background? Please turn it off.
He might be on a Bluetooth.
Yeah, that needs to be troubleshot.
Yeah.
No, I would say if anything, what people think is that the tribalism actually works for a lot of groups because it gets them
Super
working
mute up real quick.
It gets them working.
Oh, he's muted.
a tight unit. But the
Mm.
the problem that it always comes down to, honestly, ironically, the immigrants do the same thing that a lot of the, well, the black conservatives in the manosphere do. They pretend something doesn't exist, and then they say, okay, we're gonna move as if it doesn't exist, and then they run into, it's kind of like saying, well, landmines doesn't exist, so I'm gonna walk through minefield that they say has been cleared. But we all know
Guantanamo Bay.
well, no, not
No, no,
Guantanamo, because that's still active. But I
well,
mean, yeah.
the thing is, the immigrants, the parents don't understand, but the children do, because the children have to go through the system.
But that,
They're
well, that depends on how they want to be. Do we be like
no,
Candace
they're
Owens
actually
or?
they're actually Candace Owens is a coon. She knows what the fuck she's doing. Stop, stop pretending that she
No,
doesn't.
I'm not saying she doesn't. But what I'm saying is, you have folks that, okay, Candace may be like an avatar, but you have folks that will look to her as an avatar and say she don't know. I get what you're saying, but and then they'll be really stupid. And even, and here's the thing: even if they know what they still delude themselves. Just because they know, don't mean they still don't push their way into delusion. Shit, the fucking black dude in South Carolina will tell you straight up how they damn near kicked them out the Senate. The one of the cops is designed to protect them. Because they thought a black person couldn't be in the Senate, but you and I ain't saying he's a coon, but they say what they say, so it's like they understand it, but they still got to put this facade of bullshit. It's the same thing we deal with black women, where they know what time it is, as far as like what elder black women do to the younger black women, but they code up around it under the guise of keeping that forward. And immigrants do the same thing. They buy into it, and then by buying into it, you expose yourself, whether you go through the system or not. You expose yourself to potential shit, because you actually delude yourself, because that's why they keep making these like easy errors, because as long as you don't really step on white people's toes and you're somewhat aware to not do that, you won't really be fucked with. But they be really thinking they're gonna get a pass. Like Muhammad Noor really thought that being a cop and it was legit was really gonna protect him.
Yeah.
He
Because
really,
I'm a different type of black, Ed.
And,
I'm a different Negro.
but he shot a white woman. Had he shot a black person, it would have been different.
yeah, absolutely. And black people even understand. I mean, shit happens in Baltimore. Black people understand. That's why you don't see black people making those same mistakes, like African Americans. Because even if they're cops, no matter how cool, you'll never see fucking Brandon Tatum when he was a cop do some shit like that. No, because as much as he's a true believer, he would have put his life on the line. Something else would have happened. If that person had a gun, the tase would have happened. Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, they done made a different choice. Go ahead, Super. You want to say something?
I was gonna add I thought the woman was actually Australian. I thought she was actually an immigrant.
What color is she, sir? What color is she, sir? She's white.
Thank you for proving my point.
So you guys think because where you come from, color doesn't make any difference.
We asked Super when you were noting that she was Australian. What was that supposed to mean in your mind?
Well, normally, or what I've come to
where you're
observe,
from, where you're from.
Well, a combination. I won't just say that. Yes, absolutely where I'm from, but also majority of my adult life has been mostly here. The last.
But what I'm saying is,
hold on, Edward. Hold on a second.
No, I'm not. So you. Can I ask him a question? So you thought because she was Australian that there was going to be, even though she was white, you thought because she was Australian that was going to influence how white people in this country were going to respond to that situation?
Well, I thought it always responded to the way a person looks. That's how they support. Now, even though she's white, I don't remember a specific story, but there's also been issues of that kind of nature where it's the darker complexion doing something to the light, and they didn't even bat an eye, or I think it seems like they pick and choose.
Were they white?
I mean,
no, were they white? Super.
Yes and no. So no.
No, there's no yes, no. Either they're white or they're not.
I'm not trying to play games. I'm not trying to play games because it's like I'm trying to make sure I'm not assuming.
Stop being careful. Say what you mean. Stop being careful. Stop playing around.
You've been here 20 years. You know what the one drop rule is.
No, it's a real easy question. Were they white?
Yes, they were.
Where did you see a place where a black person could kill a white woman and get away with it without some consequence?
I have to look.
And don't bring up OJ.
That's not OJ didn't count.
Okay,
That's
OJ is still hunted to this day. Okay.
Well, yeah, it counts, but I mean, from my perspective, because I wasn't here when that's what I